we're back with another, no doubt, long-awaited episode of Tower Talk. It's scorching hot outside, but we're cool as a cucumber here in Peoria Heights. That's cool as a cucumber, by the way. And so we're thrilled to be filming on location again, this time at A Matter of Taste on Glen Avenue here in the Heights. And we're even more excited about our two guests today. We have Connie Randall, the founder, owner, and operator of this fine establishment, and singer, songwriter extraordinaire, and official helper outer here at A Matter of Taste, Cloyd. Together they also are real-life married couples, so partners in life. So
real life, huh?
Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
So Connie, I'm going to start with you. So you've been running A Matter of Taste since 1979, long time. So you're practically a Heights institution now. It's 1989 at this location. So tell me how this whole catering and event planning business got started, and what the impetus was for it, and how you kind of evolved over time here.
Well, I was going to ICC and taking a couple classes at Bradley and working at Peoria Country Club, and I just was friendly, and the members started to invite me into their home to do dishes and bartend and waitressing, and I saw that there was a need for this kind of upscale catering, and I'm all about nutrition and healthy food, and the generosity of those women back in the late 70s was just so welcoming and so offering, and they taught me how to really make people warm, welcome, and have a good time.
And a chance to work for yourself, right?
Right.
Which is a challenge, but also
Yeah.
freeing in some way, I suppose.
Yeah.
Kind of fun. Yeah.
Well, I was going to ICC, and I was studying interior design and art history and nutrition and ballet. I was a ballerina with Peoria Ballet for one tour, one season. And I needed to make a living for myself.
Sure.
And I got the education, and then I worked at Philip Mandel Interiors, which was a small design studio here, and then he ended up going out of business, and I thought, okay, now what am I going to do?
Sure.
And that's how I ended up at Peoria Country Club.
Okay.
And then that's how the story began.
So what was it about the Heights that interested you? And what's it been like running a business here for now more than 3 decades?
Right.
Enduring, if nothing else, right?
Yeah. Well, I lived in small little rental houses in Peoria Heights when I was on my own and going to school, and then I rented a little house, a little bungalow house that was across from Peoria Pizza Works when I was a single mother raising my son. And I just always, that was 40 years ago. And so the Heights had its little restaurants and bars and places. It was just quaint, and it just had a sweet little hometown feel.
Sure. So where did you grow up?
I grew up in East Peoria.
Okay. So and how's it been? How would you? I mean, how would you characterize running a business in the Heights? I mean, is it better now than it's ever been in this entire? I mean, up until COVID, I suppose.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, it's always been consistent. It's so wonderful because I travel throughout the region with my catering, and I can get anywhere in just a matter of minutes, being located here on Glen Avenue.
Okay, well, good. So everyone appreciates that it's been a trying time given the pandemic. So your bread and butter, I suppose, weddings and corporate events and baby showers all came to a screeching halt pretty much. So how have you managed?
Well, it was like I'm not ready to retire yet. I have these employees that have been with me for as long as 34 years.
Wow.
I've had some people working for me. And, they've stuck with me, and I was like, okay, I've got to stick with them too, because it isn't just my hands that make this food and have an eye on the perfection of the food that comes out and the quality that comes out of this kitchen. It is my employees. And so anyway, I created with Barry, we were trying to figure out, I do a soup subscription in the winter, which was my father's idea before he passed away. And so I was like, okay, so people have got to eat, and you know, the businesses, the restaurants in Peoria Heights were starting to do this carry out. So I started a comfort cuisine club, and I was hoping to get 50 people interested, and I got 80.
Wow.
And so it really, at that point, I stopped it. I said, I'm sold out, because I didn't know how much time and everything it was going to take to package all these meals.
Sure.
And so we did it. It was 6 weeks. It was a huge success, and everyone's asking for me to do it again.
Sure. Well, good. So how many employees do you have?
Including Barry. There's 4 of us that prepare this food in the kitchen.
And were you able to keep everybody on?
I was.
Good for you. Yeah. So did you take advantage of any of the assistance programs? I know the Heights had a mortgage assistance program.
You all paid one of my rents here to my landlord.
Yeah.
And that was very, very helpful, because that was right in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then I did get accepted for the second round of PPP money.
Me too. Yeah. Yeah, it came in handy.
Right. And it's almost gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Comfort Cuisine Club will start up again in another couple weeks.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to offer, and I have been asking some of the people that enjoyed it the first go round, and so I'm formulating those ideas.
So how much was your business affected in terms of percentage sales? Were they way down, or?
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I lost 3 weddings, 3 graduations, dinner parties, celebration of life, anniversary parties. I mean, and those are big events.
Yeah. But I bet people were calling, right? I mean, you had to be heartened by the response to the new program, right? I mean, you thought you'd get 50, you got 80, and so that's
and
big.
there are people that are starting to call.
Yeah.
But the events are small.
Sure.
Like, I have something coming up over on Grandview Drive, and it's 20 people.
Right.
Where I'm sure that if we weren't in this situation, this health crisis, you know, it probably would be 50 to 75.
Yeah. Okay.
So it takes as long to cook for 10 or 20 as it does for 50 to 100.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're in the movement of it.
The zone.
The zone, that's a good way to put it.
Production mode.
That's right.
Right.
So we don't want to ignore this other guy sitting next to you, so we'd like to know how the two of you met. Did he sing his way into your heart, and did you cook your way into his heart? Is that how it works? Storybook?
A little bit of both.
Sort of. Yeah.
Or what's the real story?
The real story. Well, let's see. We've been together 15 years now, married a little over a year. And this was way back in the dim, distant past, 15 years ago. I just used to see her at arts events. I'd be playing at them or something like that. So that's an interesting woman. And so I called her up one day in the middle of a drought after I just bought my second kayak, and said, "You want to go kayaking?" I said, looks like it's not going to rain. And she said, "Yeah."
We'll be walking, but it's a drought.
Yeah, well, yeah. No, it was. It rained the day we were supposed to go kayaking, and I called her up in the morning and said, "You still want to go?" And she said, "I won't melt."
Yeah, there you go.
And I thought, whoa, this is
Woman's
good.
rain.
And so we went out, and it rained like crazy, and we went back to her house, and we were soaked and spent the afternoon just sitting there talking, and that was the beginning. So there you have it.
Well, there you have it. So I married about a year, or more than a year. Yeah. So tell me what each of you bring to the table as a team, because as you said, when you got married, you were kitchen stupid.
Yeah, kitchen stupid. Yes.
Yeah, and now you're a mean sous chef.
Well, now I'm semi-competent in the kitchen. I've
He's a
learned
good
a lot.
bubble dancer.
Well, yeah.
That's the person that washes the dishes.
Oh, I see.
It's an honored title in the
It
kitchen.
is, yeah.
Bubble dancer.
Bubble
Yeah.
dancer.
So, yeah, I've learned
Because
a
we
lot.
do things by hand here.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, no dishwashing.
Right.
It's these two hands. But yeah, you just learn a lot. I learned a lot. And I'm glad, because it's a well-rounded thing when you learn what you're doing in the kitchen. That helps.
I bet it does.
And I learn from the best.
There you go. There you go. So tell me how this really weird time has affected your career, your stage career.
Well, I've been doing this full-time, playing music, touring all over the place, including outside of the U.S. for 20 years now. And it took a long time to get to that point. I didn't start doing this full-time until I was 48. And so, you know, I'm an old guy for this, but I'm still doing it, and would have had scheduled probably close to 150, 175 shows this year. When the COVID thing got as bad as it was getting, gone in a heartbeat. I started getting cancellations like crazy because people couldn't gather, and I mean, it's certainly understandable. And I'm not the only one by any means who's been affected by this, as we all know. But yeah, it just wiped out. I spend about 2 to 3 months in the wintertime, nearly every day, marketing, promoting, booking stuff. I do occasionally work with an agent, but mostly I do my own booking, promoting, marketing. I was in sales and marketing in the corporate world for 30 years, and I learned a thing or two about that, which was very valuable, even though I wasn't thrilled with the corporate world. Yeah. At least the part that I was in. But anyway, it really helped in my being able to put together a season and make it happen. And plus I do a lot of edutainment type things where I do history and music combined. I write lots of shows of that nature. And those are one of my favorite things to do. And that draws a whole different type of crowd. It's a crowd that comes to be not only entertained but educated and pay attention. And they buy things like CDs and merchandise and that type of thing. Those have become, that type of crowd has become very important in what I do. And all of those. So I've got 1 or 2 that are rescheduling for online video type productions of that nature, and so I'm dipping my toe in that. I've done a couple of those things. I'm learning how to do that. It's not nearly the same. I mean, we entertainers, we've got to have an audience.
Well, yeah, the interaction.
Exactly. The audience makes us so much better at what we do. And the online video thing it isn't the same, but it is what we have. So, you know, I'm not going to sit around and complain too much. I've done enough of that, as probably all of us have. We're just going to keep on trucking, and hopefully this will come back. But it's been a real serious blow. So
were you able to apply your creative energies elsewhere? I mean, did you make some new music?
Yeah. Connie is a terrific poet, and she has contributed to numerous songs that we've written. Several have been recorded.
I hope you're getting songwriting credits and royalties.
I've got to get royalties first. Royalties are tricky these days. I've got songs that have been 45 countries and they don't make a dime. Yeah. So these days the internet has changed how all of that works. But she definitely gets songwriting credit. That's but so I've written several things, and she's been part of several pieces that have been written. I've also concentrated on the graphic art side. We're both artists as well, and I've been doing a lot of painting, and that's cool. I love doing that. It doesn't bring in much money, but it is a passion. Sure. No, the music thing is the only thing I've ever wanted to do. I've done lots of other things in my life, but that's the only thing that has ever been something I would do for free. Yeah. And I always tell people I get paid for hauling equipment and driving 5 or 6 hours and setting up stuff and tearing it down and coming home. The show I do because I love it. Yeah. Absolutely love it. So I'm not worried about the long run. It's going to come around one of these days. It's going to morph into what it will be, and there's nothing I can do to change that. You just gotta run. You gotta roll with it. Yeah. You do. You really do. Yeah. And it's hard. Everybody's having trouble. I'm sure you've had challenges. I know Connie's got serious challenges in this, trying to keep everybody safe. Yeah. I mean, that's the big thing. And healthy. That's really hard. Yeah. Really difficult.
So one of the things you picked up, obviously, you've been really involved here in the Heights, and you've started a new series at Betty Jane Brimmer Center for the Performing Arts, which is Kim Blickenstaff's Pride and Joy. So tell us about what you've got going there.
Several years ago when I first started recording, I was in Nashville recording and worked with some really great people down there. And while I was there, I went and auditioned for a gig at the Bluebird Cafe, which is world famous. And I ended up playing it twice in their Songwriter rounds. And I loved the format. And so I thought, well, let's see if we can bring that here. And so Jenny, who runs the Jenny Parkhurst? Yes, Jenny Parkhurst. who's been a friend. The family's been a family friend for years. And I called her up and I said, what do you think about this idea of a songwriter round a la the Bluebird Cafe in Nashville for some of the regional songwriters that, friends of mine and people I don't know, and, younger folks and older folks and different type styles. And she said, yeah, let's do it. So the third one is coming up this Friday at 7 o'clock.
The timing is perfect yet again.
Yet again. And we've got some great songs. We've had some really fine people and we had really good crowd reaction. This time we've got coming up, we've got a young songwriter named Allison Hanna, and we've also got a good friend of mine, a monster finger picker, Piedmont style finger picker, David Birchtold, and also the leader in a very, very popular group, the Way Down Wanderers, Colin Krause, is going to do some of his stuff.
So
yeah, they're great, fine young band, and really a bunch of good folks. Colin's going to be there, and we're hoping to have a big crowd. They do have open seating. They do have seating on the lawn. There's like a wall that opens up, and inside as well. So you can social distance, you can stay safe, and we're hoping we've got a big crowd because we've had a lot of fun doing this.
Yeah, it's the third in the series, and it's going to be an ongoing thing. I know they're excited about it down at the BJB, and so that's great. Yeah. So if you can come, you should try it. You said you've had really enthusiastic crowds.
Yeah, great crowd, really good response.
So that's great. So. I ask this of a lot of folks, and particularly as we've gone through this crisis. But crisis also can be an opportunity. And so, I guess have you learned anything, the two of you, as business people, as creative people, over the last 3 or 4 months?
Don't get sick.
Yeah, but that might change the way you do business moving forward. So, what have you learned about this whole? Other than you're survivors, right? That's one thing.
Well, that's it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I have been tested a number of times through my life with raising a child by myself without child support. And when I started out, this was a man's world. Men owned restaurants, men were chefs. I came in 41 years ago. So I just think just keep plugging on, and that my mission has always been to feed people the way that I like to eat, health-centered, and I think that that's why I have repeat customers, is that the quality is important, and you are what you eat. That was a saying back in the 70s, and I have always believed that.
Yeah. How about you? What have you learned about yourself?
Well, it's just another example of you got to keep on keeping on. One thing I have learned is, and this after when you don't play for a while and you get back in front of an audience and they appreciate it, you begin to realize that they are enjoying this as much as you are, and that is a really nice thing to see. And it's wonderful to be able to do it again when in the few gigs that I've had since things have started to open up a little bit. That's about it. You can't let it drive you nuts, although it can, as we all know. You just got to keep on rolling.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to quit, don't quit. If you don't want to give up, don't give up. Just keep on trucking.
Well, and this disease has taken away everything that we as humans hold so dear.
Yes.
It's taken away so many quality of life things. I mean, all the work that I've lost, it is all the celebrations of life.
Yeah.
And, that's what his work is too. And so we just have got to be calm with one another and patient with one another and cautious.
Sure.
This kitchen is super, super cautious.
Yeah.
Because not only is my livelihood, but I really, I don't know if I always have said I must have done a lot of people wrong in my last life, because my mission in this life is to take care of people.
Yeah.
And so
I doubt that.
I don't know.
You're not a mean person.
You've built something here. You should be proud of that.
Yeah.
Well, I am. Of course I am.
And you're making a living as an entertainer, so that's not an easy thing to do, right? I mean,
You just got to keep rolling.
That's right.
And commitment, that's the key.
So that pretty much covers it for us here at Tower Talk. Got a strong Tower Talk endorsement here. The food is fantastic. The entertainment is just as great. And so slowly but surely we're going to be returning to normal here in the Heights. Though no doubt there's a surprise and hopefully a song around every single corner. So long for now. And Barry, can you take us out? That's a cue. This is your cue. Take us out.
I ain't nothing but a singer, singing my song. I ain't nothing but a bell, ringing all night long. I ain't nothing but a miner, digging the word of a horse and a bell and a world trying to be heard. You ain't nothing but a woman, and a pretty one at that. You ain't nothing but a man, fixing to leave you flat. This ain't nothing but the saga of some lifetime gone, of a man and a woman and a story that goes on and on, singing glory hallelujah, shining to the sky, cursing Lord it was too young. As the years go by, this ain't nothing but moving of a big round ball. Every moment of that movement is precious to you all. And we're all connected, joined at the heart. Every man, every woman, every child from the very start. Say we're all connected, joined at the heart. Every man, every woman, every child from the very start. I ain't nothing but a singer.
That's a Tower Talk first, folks, right there.
Thanks for having us, Mike. We really appreciate it.
Good.